Alright, so we're still continuing on this trip. We know BTs will be in the relative area. So are resins good or bad? I thought maybe they were looking for the resins, or they were just down near them or something. So this goes back to where I just came from. I'm not walking back immediately though, so we're just gonna hold on to that. Well, here's a pod up here. I'm gonna deposit this that I just picked up. That was close.
This one's for you. Today's a good day.
Yeah, we're just gonna deposit this here. It made me really heavy, and I feel like I'm gonna need to be kind of light, knowing BTs will be out here soon. This rain is also degrading my cargo really badly. Metals. How heavy this be? That's not heavy. Cool. I can feel the difference in my movement though. So where am I trying to get? Let's make sure we are aware of the game plan before we just go waltzing in. I think it's that. Is this it? Let's check. Alright. Yeah, it's that. Cool. So we're actually pretty close. What does that red mean?
Fuck this.
Ghosts. There's ghosts. Oh no. I appreciate the heads up. Well, I don't see anything, and if I can make it over to that ladder, I should be okay. We're gonna approach real careful right now. Where are they? I don't see any though. They're probably like outside of the city where I'm going right now with my luck. I really don't see any. That little thing is... There we go. So most of them are to the right. This is so scary, because I can't see them right now. They're doing a really good job of, like, placing themselves inconveniently to me. Okay. Let's, there's one right there. So there's not a lot. Thank God. My stuff is starting to get destroyed. Okay. All right. Alright, so we're gonna use a ladder here just to be safe. That's really as long as it goes. No way. I don't know if I can make it across that. I'm just gonna try. We have to make it across through this water. Oh my god.
Something wrong, Sam?
I don't know. Kid doesn't look so hot.
Nothing to worry about. Its functions are temporarily suspended, but they can be restored. I can perform the necessary maintenance at a distribution center. Hurry, though.
Autotoxemia. The rain's gone. Thank God. A bike. I'm gonna get to ride on a bike.
When the strain on your BB exceeds sustainable levels, it triggers the production of harmful compounds, and the body, in essence, begins to attack itself. It's called autotoxemia. If your BB's not performing to spec, drop by your private room and see if the incubator helps.
That makes sense. This game is just so beautiful. I'm gonna be gushing over it this entire time. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. Whose bike this be? You left this here for me? That's cool, you can put stuff on it.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Decontaminating suit. Rest is advised.
Why does it have the X on it? Nice. Oh, I hope the baby will be better. He said we can update it, like an iPod.
Station folks told me all about you. Sam Bridges, with the second expedition, right? The guy expanding the chiral network on his lonesome, when he's not out making deliveries. So what'd you bring us? Let's see it. Talk about above and beyond. Thanks. Must have had to pass through BT territory to get here too, didn't you? They weren't joking when they said you were a legend.
Yay. 1% damage really isn't bad, I guess. That's just from the rain, and I fell like once a little bit. Nice. That's a lot.
Okay, it's time. Do you mind connecting us to the network?
Of course. It's cool. Wow, I can't believe we're gonna have to go across the entire United States.
Sam, as always, thanks for bringing more folks into the UCA.
Yeah. What's all this? Oh, okay.
Looks like we're on the chiral network. And with those materials you brought for our chiral printer, we can produce supplies for you here as needed. Think of it as our way of returning the favor. Now head west and keep on doing what you do.
Good. The distro center is on the network.
Sam, do me a favor. Take your BB to a private room and connect it to the incubator.
Good work.
Hopefully we can fix baby. Make him healthy again. Little baby Igor.
Dead man, you there? Little help?
Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
It's in.
Good. A temporary excessive stress. Easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
What?
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU. Brain dead, of course.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A steel mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs. These pods were designed to simulate the conditions inside a still mother's womb. BBs need to believe they're in one at all times to function properly. However, we can only maintain this deception for so long, which is why we must periodically update the environmental data by synchronizing it with a still mother via the chiral network. There. The update is in progress. Right now, the pod is synchronizing with the steel mother in capital Knot City and reconfiguring its settings based on the latest data. Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Baby.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on. You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its steel mother's womb. A process that renders them unpredictable and prone to failure. No BB on record has remained in service for over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then? You saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
You must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers. Oh, right. You asked me to look into why the BTs might be reacting to your blood. I spoke with Hartman. We should have your results soon.
That's good.
Anyway, get some rest. You and your BB are both exhausted. Good night, Sam.
Vision? Oh, okay. Now Vision.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Sam? Can you see me?
How are things over there?
Still not under guard. Still not chained up. Still can't leave. But if you can keep making connections, if you can get to me, we can go back east. Back home. Thank you. I mean that. It's bad. There are fewer and fewer people in the cities these days. No one's having children anymore. But humans aren't made for living alone. They're supposed to come together, to help one another. And if we as a people can't do that, if we can't reconnect, then, well, it's like Bridget said, extinction.
Come on. Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope.
She's a hologram.
Don't be
She's not even
waiting,
gonna
Sam.
really touch you. Well, I mean, if he really hates it, I guess that makes sense.
Waiting for you. Come and find me.
Hello, Sam. This is Hartman. Since you're awake, it might behoove you to freshen up. To that end, why not take a shower? It's good for the body and soul, and also my research as it happens.
A shower. Okay. I thought he was like studying my poop or something, but if it's a shower Hartman wants, it's a shower he gets.
Sam, this is Hartman. Deadman relayed your request to me, and I oversee BT research. I'll be taking a sample of your shower water in order to study the effects your bodily fluids might have on a BT.
Study other people with dooms?
Everyone in Bridges, myself and Mama. Results thus far are inconclusive. But you possess other singular qualities, being a repatriate as well. I must confess to a measure of optimism. Processing fluids, waste products, dry dispensing. There, take the sample with you. Should the opportunity arise, try using it on a BT. I'm
What?
curious to see how they react. Who knows? It may even prove beneficial to you. There was an old research paper detailing the effects of bodily fluids from individuals like us on BTs. It is only by recovering these materials that we can unearth the knowledge of the past. Not just the death stranding, but also the mystery of your body's unique properties and even our doom's affliction. There may well be hope for humanity. Sam, I have no interest in rebuilding America. I want to recover the past. Oh, it's almost time.
After you make your connections and nothing happens, then what? I said, then what?
His dinner's ready. He had to go eat.
Sam, sorry to bother you while you're taking a break, but I figured you'd want to hear this. Hell, maybe it'll help you rest easier. We received a number of messages addressed to you. I've not taken a look myself, but I gather they're mostly from your clients. You should see if they contain any useful information. Mail can be accessed via your cufflinks, as well as the terminal in your private room. There's something else I'd like to share with you. With the Chiral Network, we now have the power to reclaim our past. Data once thought lost forever from every corner of America can be pieced back together from fragmented records. Our archives are still a work in progress, of course. But as we expand the network and integrate more way stations and cities, we'll be able to recover more and more information, such as the previous expedition's logs and reports. Everything they sent back was lost when Central Knot City was destroyed. Now we've managed to restore some already, in fact. You can access them from a private room terminal or your cufflinks by selecting Archives. Might make for interesting reading.
You wanna go? Is that what you're saying? We gotta get the thing out of the shower, though. You didn't grab it. It's still there. Okay, whatever. Let's check on BB. He looks better.
You okay?
He looks okay. Things are looking up at the way station. Everything feels better. We were all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when we set ourselves up, but 3 years of isolation and loneliness will change anyone's tune. Hell, when we first got here, we were putting up signs for posters and whatnot, but after a while, some guys got too scared to even set foot outside. When Central went up, I told myself, this is it. America's done. Everyone was feeling it too, and the mood was just bleak, and then you waltzed in. And I know you're thinking, at first, I thought it was the oxytocin too, but that's not all of it. Anyhow, you gave us a glimmer of hope we needed by bringing us into the Chiral Network. We're back in the game now. Before long, we'll be opening up new delivery routes. It's still scary out there, though, and all the ox in the world won't help us deal with mules, let alone BETs. Or BTs, sorry. BETs. We shit ourselves every time we catch sight of one and end up dropping half our equipment. Honestly, a part of me is still a little worried that we won't be able to keep it up. That's why we need you. Now show us how it's done. Okay. Sorry, Sam. Bad news. Thanks for delivering the medals. Everyone at the Distro Center says you really came through for us. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Its battery's dead. You'll have to give it some juice if you want to use it. Only need to do it once, though. Auto charger should kick in after. Sorry if we got your hopes up. And more bad news for you too. You see, different facilities have to work together sharing materials so everyone gets what they need and to make sure everything that's produced gets put to proper use. That's why guys like you are so important. Without porters, the whole system falls apart. Whole world even. Anyways, there's this guy, George Baton, over at the way station. He used to be a reliable porter, but lately it's like pulling teeth getting him to make even the simplest delivery. Keeps bitching about being scared and not having enough oxy or whatever. Always some excuse. Even when he does agree to make a run, he's liable to lose half his load en route. So yeah, that's why we've been a bit short of materials at the moment. I'm sure you'll help us put that soon help us put that to rights? That's a weird way to phrase that. We're counting on you, Sam. I know you are. I got you, bud. Let's check out these interviews. Bridges' primary objective is to rebuild America, and in order to rebuild, one of our main tasks is to reconnect cities and other settlements by re-establishing a delivery network. Back before the Death Stranding, so that's what they call the event, the Big Bang. Good to know. The comms and delivery networks were what held society together. The whole thing was automated, AI managed, deliveries carried out by drone. The belief was that taking people out of the equation would revolutionize the entire system, but things didn't quite pan out that way. Instead, we started seeing cases of what eventually would be dubbed drone syndrome. It was too much for some folks to accept, leaving everything to machines and nothing for the common man. And indeed, the oxytocin deficiency and hormonal imbalances we confirmed seemed to back up that assessment. Humanity needed to be a part of the process, so laws were put in place, and we stepped back into the picture again. Interesting. And then what happened? Oh, how do I... Oh, okay. And all the people put out of work by machines who got called up again convinced themselves society couldn't survive without them. And that brought on a whole new disorder, delivery dependence disorder. When the Death Stranding tore us apart, the delivery problem spiraled even further. It wasn't helped any by the fact that chiral clouds prevented planes and drones from flying, which meant we had to go back to relying completely on human couriers, whether we liked it or not. Eventually, delivering goods became all some lived for. They were obsessed, addicted, consumed by the desire to deliver. Over time, they turned into the mules we know and love today. Interesting. I'd like to learn more about mules at some point. I'm sure I will. Alright, so this is from Dead Man, and it's about bridge babies. He sent this 1 year ago. Okay. Look, I'm kinda new here at Bridges, so I don't know if any of this will be useful to you. Still, I'm happy to talk about babies, if that's what you want. They call me Dead Man on account of my familiarity with the dead, get it? We've always been on good terms, you see. Used to have regular little chats back when I worked in the morgue. Alright. Anyway, that's also the reason I work on BB maintenance and research, to learn more about those who are no longer with us, but I digress. Fact is, BBs were already being issued to our forces in the field before I joined Bridges. What's more, research into the little guys had already been conducted long ago, but no one took the plunge and put what they discovered to practical use. Still, what that did mean is that when Bridges wanted to build our own BBs, most of the work had already been done for us. We just needed to follow the instruction manual, so to speak. Which isn't to say that we have any idea how they work. Not how they can detect BTs, or how they can connect to this world, or how they can connect this world to the other side. We still have much to learn about our little friends, but one thing is certain, their continued study will lead us to a greater understanding of the Stranding, and of life and death itself. That much I can assure you. Well, I think that's about all I have to tell you today. Hopefully I'll have something new to tell you when I see you next. Bye. Timefall. So this is the rain that ages everything, and I got this the earliest out of all the emails or interviews or whatever. This was 3 years ago by Hartman, the doctor guy who likes to look at my poop. Timefall was first recorded when the Death Stranding occurred, and despite all the years that have passed since then, we are no closer to understanding how or why it accelerates the passage of time for the objects and organisms it touches, or why it immediately turns to ordinary water having done so. That's a really interesting piece of information. Some researchers have gone as far to posit this process as stealing time. As for why timefall is observed only in certain places, all we know for certain is that it is somehow affected by local chiral concentrations. Okay, that's good to know as well. This is merely a hunch, but something in me suspects that the Death Stranding may have warped our perception of the passage of time. Huh. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, you understand. We humans can conceive of our own deaths and even the possibility of a place beyond death, yes? We have the capacity to conceptualize the future, an evolutionary advantage which aided our development as a species. Well, what if Timefall has given us a new supercharged version of this essential ability? One that will take us to the next stage of our evolution. Perhaps we wouldn't need to hole ourselves up in knot cities. Perhaps in time the Death Stranding will come to seem as the phenomenon that saved our species. Exciting thoughts, I'm sure you'll agree. I, for one, can't wait to set out on our journey. Who knows what awaits us? That is a lot to think about. Of course, that's just one man's speculation. But very interesting, nonetheless. I don't need to read most of this shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up on all this as I'm playing. Alright.
Sam, we've received a distress call from the distro center staff. Check the order on the delivery terminal as soon as you're ready.
Next time.